Happy Tuesday morning. It's Dr. Angelica Hernandez with two moms, two kids. I was going to talk about being a lesbian parent today. I was thinking about that and thinking about how, the world views gays and lesbians and how my community views gays and lesbians and just kind of how to raise a child, actually two children, as a couple of lesbians who are married. I was thinking about my first initial kind of anxieties about being a parent, and they really were about not about my own sexuality and my own person, but how it would affect the kids and how people would treat them. Like, how would our neighbors treat them? Would the kids have friends? Like, I really kind of tried to consider all that stuff. I didn't accidentally get pregnant. So, but what I realized is that we have created a community for ourselves before the children were born, and that community that was built, it just they loved us no matter what, and so it was not an issue. And I know that I live in Southern California, and I know it's 2016, which is not the same case for someone living in a small town, a conservative town in the Bible Belt. But the truth is that the more conscious you can be about yourself and happy and not feel shame or internalize homophobia yourself, then that's what the gift is to your friends and to your children, because parenting is parenting, and it doesn't matter if it's two women, if it's two men, if it's a single parent, if it's a grandparent, if it's an aunt or an uncle who's taken on the responsibility of parenting. The truth is that we want to raise happy, healthy, competent, and confident children. And that's, I believe, every parent's goal. I don't know that parents set out to sabotage their children. I don't believe that parents set out to, screw them up. I think that's part of, unconscious parenting. I think it's part of, kind of par for the course. But as long as I can be conscious that I'm giving my child the best parenting and love and attention that I can do, I'm sure, they're going to find lots of fault with what I've done, what my decisions are on a daily basis, what my discipline routine is like, and all those things. But the truth is, and sure, they're going to be in therapy. That's like, instead of saving for college, it's like save for therapy first, because you want your kids to have a place to decompress and to deal with their own emotional state. And there's absolutely no shame for me to say that I'm in therapy, or for kids to have that support system either. I think that we used to have a community where we all lived together with our families, and we had extended family members that we could talk to, and there were elders, and those days are few and far between. So if a child can establish a relationship with a trusting adult, then God bless them. If they feel that they could communicate with their parents without shame and without judgment, that's always the best case scenario. But there are certain things that some kids just need to deal with, and parents aren't always the best to deal with stuff. So, but as far as I'm concerned, all those fears that I had about a community, about treatment, about kids, bullying my kids, it just has never happened. And at this point, I have an 8-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter, and they are happy, and they have lots of friends, and we have lots of parents who love them and love us, and it's mutual. And I'm grateful for that, because those fears have been kind of been held at bay. Now, it's not to say that in high school or in junior high school they're not going to get teased or questioned or challenged, but the truth is, the more confident they feel, and the more we could give them love and that confidence, then it's just gonna be just an answer. Hey, where's your dad? Oh, I don't have a dad. I've got two moms. And we've talked about how families are different, and that some families have a mom and a dad, that I was born and raised to just a mom. I didn't have a dad. And that there are all kinds of different families and different configurations of family. But and you can always build your family. We have men in our lives that take on, very important roles for our kids. We have a friend of ours named Brian who comes over every week and hangs out with the kids and just really does things differently. He does manly, masculine things and dad-like things with the kids, and they love him for it, and he loves them, and we trust him, and he's part of our family, and we're very grateful to have that. But we really we sought him out because we knew that we needed to have strong male influences in their lives. I do not believe that we don't need men. I am not, a separatist. I believe that both men and women have equal value and are necessary. We can't isolate ourselves from that. So just for the record, because of course there are radicals out there who just say we don't need men. That is not my point, nor is that my perspective at all. I am hoping to raise a very healthy and happy man. I have who is 8 years old now, and he's just getting older and older, and I'm trying to support him in his path. And my daughter, who's 6 years old, and support her, knowing again that she's got two moms and she doesn't have a dad, and being able to field those questions. And many of those questions come out very just there's curiosity, and sometimes they're very simple ways like, wait, why do I have two moms and I don't have a dad? And well, that's our family. We brought you into this world like this. Mommy and I picked you. We wanted to have a baby, and we got you, and we give her the story, but something that's palatable for a 6-year-old girl instead of someone that's 16. Every based on what they're ready for, you kind of have to be able to sense that. And the more questions they ask is just being honest. But of course, not giving all the details. It's just like talking about, death. You give them facts, but not all the details, just because it's too much, for kids to tolerate sometimes, especially if the details are not so pretty. So I'm doing what I know how to do, and I'm hoping that, once, that we can live in a world where it's just a non-issue, because I truly feel that it's a non-issue. My parenting and the next door neighbor's parenting, very, very similar. And then, down the road, somewhere else. And again, with the best intentions for our children, to create a safe and healthy environment and help them through their educational experiences and through their emotional development. Those are all things that we all strive for. So I think I'm just like any other parent. The only difference is that instead of a husband, I have a wife, and but we do it all like everybody else does. There's no glaring difference, truthfully. We're two people, we have two totally different personalities, we have two totally different experiences, and we have two totally different, perspectives about parenting. And so it is our task to come together so that we are on the same page, and that so we can create a solid foundation for our kids, and also know that there aren't very many lesbian parents in the world that have that same freedom, and trust me, I'm very, very grateful for that, and I wish that one day there'll be a world where it's a non-issue. And until then, I hope you find your way. I hope you find your strength. There's nothing to feel shame about for your children. I hope one day my kids will talk about what it's like to have two moms. And again, just like I can talk to having been raised by a single parent, same thing. It's my perspective. It's my, of course, were things perfect? Absolutely not. Did I miss having a father? Absolutely. But I also didn't get the truth. My mother was very, as she says, she was trying to protect me. But she just didn't give me the truth. And so I had all these, I was just wondering. And by the time I was old enough to do something about it, or find out about him, he's since gone. He's passed away. So there's nothing that I could get, and I had lots of questions. I was very curious. But that was my experience. And does it bother me? Yes. Do I wish my mother would have been honest? Yes. Do I wish I would have had a father? Yes. Um, but that was not my story. And so what I can do for my children is, we have two parents. We have, our friend Brian who comes and gives them lots of love. I have my brothers who are loving and kind to my kids, and my wife has her brothers, and they all love and are kind to our kids. And so I feel like they have strong examples of what it's like to be a man, as well as what it's like to be a woman, and those role models in their lives that they're going to find in our community, and I'm grateful for that. We play sports. I'm a parent who has been a coach. Now I'm kind of switching gears because the coaching is getting more technical, and I'm not really that technical. I love to coach. I love to encourage kids. I know how to play, but I'm kind of letting someone else do it, and sometimes those kind of what would you call it? Those systems of sports are very, very masculine, very, very male dominated, and very kind of conservative. And you know what? I know that, but it doesn't mean that I have to acquiesce. I know I'm not gonna, we're playing with the big boys, and I get that. But it's not infringing on my person. And I don't know that I would ever let that happen because I feel like I'm a very strong and a very competent person, and I'm just, trying to make it like everybody else. So, have a great day. It's Tuesday. It's beautiful out here in Southern California. Spring has sprung for sure. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me on Facebook at Two Moms, Two Kids, and also on Instagram, Two Moms, Two Kids TV, and I'll answer some questions for you. All right, have a great day. Adios.